Welcome to the kitchen sink. We will chat, we will make you think. You will not want to go to the loo. You could miss a lot if you had that poo. Stay and watch and join in. Yeah! Hey. We're back!
We're back. I still like the fact we're take a light reflection. Hello.
Hello, how are you? See, we've got a comment already.
Oh, look at that.
Hugh. Hello, Hugh. How are you, Hugh?
I've done my hair.
Well done. You've got to do it like twice a year, haven't you, Lucy?
I know, it's special occasions.
We've got a really special guest tonight, haven't we?
I'm a little bit excited.
Very excited for tonight's guest. Are you excited?
Really panicky. So please, if anybody sees, if you see, I'm so panicky about my internet because we've got such a special guest coming. Please just tell me, and I will find at the moment, I'm on a good strength. So just keep an eye on me.
I can hear you, but you're still sticky. Your picture's sticking, Lucy. Sorry.
Right. Okay. That's fine. It's fine.
Can I just introduce you to my new friend, Prosecco? This is cheap B&M bargain basement Prosecco for $1.99. I thought I'd give that a whirl tonight. I don't know how I managed to keep that in my fridge for the last 2 weeks. How did I manage not to drink?
You're a little better than me. I would not be able to. For me, Prosecco goes off very quickly, and you have to get, it's more perishable than strawberries.
I can't even open it. I'm like, it won't allow me to open it. I had the same problem with a bottle of maple syrup the other day. I had a flipping, it was first thing in the morning, I had a bloody spanner to a bottle of maple syrup trying to bloody open it. Why are food people trying to make it so? Oh, I've got to do this thing. We're going to do that. That's why. Oh, hey!
Hey!
Happy Thursday, everyone. Cheers. Ooh,
have you had any more bookings for gigs?
I have. I've got a gig next week, next Thursday night with Ignacio Lopez. So that's on the 13th. That's online. Yeah, very happy about that. Doing a spot with him. So that's next Wednesday night. And I've got, what else have I got? I've got one on Sunday with, oh gosh, it's going to be online. It's 5 p.m. UK time. And I've got 4 whole minutes in order to wow everybody. It's a new material night. Well, a new material night, I should say. So I'm going to be trying some new material on Sunday at 5 p.m. Shall we tell everyone about our bid for chortle fame?
Well,
we got a bit keen, guys. We were trying to get the word of the kitchen sink out, and me and Lucy have been working on this article for technically months, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we were trying to put together how we met, because we've only ever met online, which we think is quite interesting, and become friends online and do the show and everything. But when I sent it to Chortle, it's just very much, and Lucy had read it, so we both had agreed it, but it very much read like, in their words, it's a press release for your show. And I'm like, and just put it in your frigging website.
Because I find that a lot of people that write into Chortle, they're hiding their lights. They don't want people to know about them.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, don't tell me I'm frozen.
You're not frozen now.
Right, so my dongle, my hotspot. Okay, no, it's fine. It's like, I'm living in a lead framed house, and no, and my mother's in the background going, "Will my phone help?" No, at the moment, Mum, I don't know anything short of just travelling to Swansea and sharing cameras with Sarah. And if anyone says, why are you breaking COVID restrictions? I'll be like, because we got a guest.
It's for work. It's for work. Oh, Lucy, can I moan to you for a moment?
You moan, I'll fret about my internet. Go.
Okay, sure. I keep doing this. This is a new habit of mine. I keep doing this before I'm about to say anything. I don't know what that is. So, anyone else feel like this? I've hit the wall with the COVID and with the having to stay in Swansea. I've hit the wall. I love Swansea. Swansea, I love you, honestly. But my old life was being out all the time, gigging all over the UK, being out for my day job as a trainer or coach for people, doing, just being out and about all the time. And the first 3 months of sitting in my house, getting on top of all the housework and what have you, was great. I was like, oh my God, I've wanted this for years. But now I'm just so cheesed off with it. And it just feels like there's no end. Anyone else feel like this? Am I on my own? I've hit the wall. I've been fine for a while, but as of this week, I'm done. I'm really done with it. I just want to get out. I'd even go as far as Llanelli. That's how far. That's how much I want to get out of Swansea. Now, are you frozen like that? Are you just looking at me like, Bridge, get a grip?
I know. So I saw a map. I know, right? We always try to keep COVID chat to a minimum because keep it light, But by the map,
I don't know. I've got it off my chest, though. I'm
not that far away from you. I genuinely, I am hour and a half, maybe hour 40 away, and that, in the scheme of exploration, is not an adventurer's mile. Christopher Columbus wouldn't set off from the southwest to Swansea. That's just a day trip. But the fact is, Jesus, what are you guys doing? Why? I mean, what are you doing? What are you not doing?
It's not. This is it. See, it's like I resent that. Actually, I'm doing great, and we're all wearing masks.
Now.
Yeah, okay, we're wearing masks now. But I just don't want to do it anymore. I just want to leave Swansea whenever I want, come back whenever I want. A moment of power.
Well, have you heard what they're doing in Scotland?
I know! They're closing the pubs! Like Nicola Sturgeon.
I can't take credit for credit for this joke. But he has said that Nicola Sturgeon's going sober for October and she's taken every fucker with her.
She's going to put her. I think we need to stop that bullshit as well. We need booze, unless you're alcoholic. You don't need booze. But...
I don't know how people in Scotland are going to cope, because they already had it down to you're only allowed to buy units from certain shops and stuff. I remember I was going up to Edinburgh to do an event, and I love to drink Tennent's when I'm in Scotland.
Right.
It's like drinking tequila in Mexico.
I'm gonna be like Iron Brew. I'd rather Iron Brew with some vodka in.
Oh well, they've changed Iron Brew. It's sugar free because of the fat tax. When they did all the drinks over, you can only buy the full fat sugary Iron Brew from certain places. So you go up to a Scotland person, you go, "Do you want this Iron Brew?" And they go, "Yeah, that's the shit one."
It's fair enough. Which isn't wrong, is it? If you're used to Iron Brew and the way it is, I'm fine. They can do that to soft drinks. But if they came for ice cream, I'll be like, no, enough's enough. You're not taking sugar out of ice cream. Leave it alone. It's not my thing. I'm not that bothered about Iron Brew or alcohol, really. This isn't bad, by the way. I am pro B&M 1.99 Prosecco. Ooh, it's not as good
I
as
don't know if we are slowly becoming sponsored by B&M, but I do feel like the B&M drink review does need an intro, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I will do it. I'm making a note. Not Iron Brew. See,
What's
my
this
brain's gone.
like?
I've had a
You
busy
ask
day.
me. It's Prosecco for 99p.
You want your day in the sun? You can have a Prosecco. It's a lot of fun. Oh, how have we not got
Oh,
500,000 viewers?
hang on. Waterman and Waterman is ringing going, we want you to write the next hit.
The 80s called. They want their songs back.
I'm trying to click things without you realizing. It's just I'm trying to get the YouTube link to Sian if she wants to watch the show beforehand. I have sent her the Twitch link, but I just didn't want to assume that was how she partook.
Yes.
And she has a Facebook, and the Joke Pit Periscope is down.
Oh God.
So I know. And for those of you that are avid Sync fans, Periscope was how our Nigerian listener was watching.
Oh, bye, Nigerian listener. We never did find out his name, did we?
I also don't think he wanted
Not to change the subject. No. Dave. We'll call him Dave from Nigeria. But can we just say, Hugh, I don't want to change the subject. Hugh is telling us that he's in Durham. Hugh, do you have a Durham accent? And he says, rumour is pubs will close by Monday.
No way.
I think, well, that's where all the disease is coming from. Fair enough. Shut it down. I'm at the point where I'm like, can we just shut everything down? I'll give you 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks.
3 weeks of
total.
If that
gets rid of everything, I'm happy to stay in my house and not go everywhere. If everyone else in Britain does the same, and they close the airports, and they close off any chance of anyone getting into Britain. Oh my God, I sound like a conservative. Not for that reason. Not for that reason. Just for 3 weeks, get rid of the bug, and then let's get on with our lives. That's what I'm saying. I'd be happy to do that, you know, as long as they give me vegetarian food. If the army was giving me food parcels at my door, this is stronger than it looks, I have to say. Already.
I'm already cringing about how bad this joke is, but it's one of my favourite. Did you know that the Pink Panther was set in Durham?
No, shut up.
Yeah, because it goes. Panther. Yeah, because it goes no. Durham, 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 Durham.
If you open up the dictionary to gullible, this photo is in it. Well done, Lucy.
Right, my turn to rant. My turn to rant.
I rant away while I sort my hair out.
Away. I flick my hair back. So, you know, on the Lucy show, by the way, Hugh, noted you weren't there. And what's worse, my mother noticed you weren't there. So, you know, I'm not saying there's guilt applied here. But
he's here now. Stay with us, Hugh.
Yeah. So with my Lucy show, I do in little sections, little nibbles. Oh, for fuck's sake, the 80s have rung, said they want their scrunchy back.
Wasn't every photo the front of Jackie like this in the
80s? Mum just said, have you got leg warmers? To be honest, I've only ever seen her sat down. I'm not sure she's got legs.
I have got legs. Look, if I can get my leg out. Hang on.
There you go, gentlemen. You're welcome. That's my exercise. Family stretching done for the week.
That's going to hurt tomorrow.
So I do the Lucy show in sections, and one of the sections is called Tomorrow's Chip Paper. So, Hugh, I'm only joking. I'm so sorry. Hugh's just messaged to say, I'm sorry I was working a night shift. I am sorry.
I hope you feel bad about that now, Lucy.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, if you've got headphones, you can just listen, and it's available for catch-up. But So one of the sections tomorrow's chip paper, where it's, that's the saying. For those of you that aren't familiar with Anglo sayings, tomorrow's chip paper means don't worry about a news story today, because tomorrow it'll just be what people wrap their chips in, potato fries. So I was talking about the Proud Boys movement.
Proud Voice.
Proud Boys.
Oh, Proud Boys. All right. What's this then?
Right. Do you remember when we did the BLM charity night? No, it's not. It's not Duran or Durham.
Durham.
So
what is that song? Sorry, that's going to annoy me now.
Wild Boys.
Wild Boys. No, but how does it go?
Right. Stick with me, Richmond. Stick with me. Fucking hell, someone spiked your B&M fizz. Right, let me finish this story, or I'm going to give you a...
No! I'm not a pastor.
Right, so Proud Boys is very much like the people that ruined or tried to ruin our BLM night. It's a part of a racist faction in America.
Oh.
So what they've done, and in fact, I still got the picture uploaded into Machine because my show was on Tuesday. But this is what happened with the Proud Boys hashtag. So
get on, you good proud gay men. Go on, yeah.
Exactly.
Go on, the lad.
If you search hashtag Proud Boys, all you're getting is a lot of men snogging, which I'm sure the racist Proud Boys will just be over the moon with. So that is no more than, say, 4 minutes of the show. And someone came on and went, for a comedy show, there's not one bit of comedy. This is way too political. My show was called Political.
You're having that for a quote. Far too political.
It was Mum's first interaction with a troll.
Oh, what did Mum say?
She went straight into teacher mode. Oh, thank you so much.
It's so interesting, isn't it? When someone trolls you, what's your go-to? So
my mum's first thing was to say, you may not be liking this, but at least you're a viewing figure.
Yeah.
Thank you for your viewership.
Thank you for your patronage.
So, yeah. I mean, to be honest, for the first 18 weeks, I did a section about my mum's shoes. So the fact that
you're gonna get the foot fetishists in.
No. The fact I've been called, too political, like, oh, do you think I'm? 1 second, mock the week is ringing.
Yeah.
No, Tara.
Let's get some jokes in the news, Jack. Yeah.
Yes,
no, Charlie Brooker. I haven't got time to write for Newswipe this week. Well, this year. Oh, wouldn't it be great if there was a Newswipe for New Year? Because let's face it, Christmas is going to be bloody grim this year, isn't it? Anyway, I mustn't be miserable. I'm not going to be miserable. I feel better now. No. I think I missed last week's kitchen sink. We might as well have done it anyway, because we were on a bloody gig together anyhow.
Well, we absolutely love Frenzy online, but the fact is it starts at 8:30, and our previous viewing figures were 6 till 8, and now we're 7 till 9. We just can't. Even Ray will tell you how difficult it is to watch every piece of live comedy on the internet at any one time. Can be, a little bit of a scheduling issue. And it is a great night. So we realized, the minute we realized we weren't doing anything on a Thursday, we were like, ooh, we can do Frenzy.
Yeah.
So talking of real gigs, so it's ploughing on. We've had to make a few changes, but the gig we're doing in Tiverton, Donna and I are ploughing on. She's done the so the poster to The Shining where he's like that.
Oh yeah,
looking through the door. We've changed it from The Shining.
That looks like something else, isn't
it? She's crowning. Sorry,
you're giving birth to your comedy gig.
Pushing her face back, and she looked like a baby being born. or a lady from Beverly
I
Hills.
would prefer the podcast people to just make up whatever you've got going on in your own head to what you heard. Whatever you think is possibly true.
So we've changed the poster from The Shining to The Laughing.
Very good.
Put masks over the two faces on the poster. But we've only gone and wangled Susie Bennett on the lineup.
Yay! She's brilliant. I love Susie. She's such a laugh.
Yeah.
Good choice. If you can, get Anna Curl down as well. She's fucking hilarious as well. She's brilliant.
Well, this is guinea pig night 1.
Righty-ho.
So it's a case of let's get through this first night. And then we'll be able to see what worked, what didn't work, what needs to be improved, what can be left alone kind of thing. Because ultimately, we are, talk about Doctors Sans Frontiers. We're putting a comedy gig on during a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Not all heroes wear capes.
IRL. Yeah. An IRL comedy gig.
So it's gonna be Trey interest on.
What's the date of your first one?
Halloween.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that'll be fun. Are you gonna dress up? Sorry, I've got the burps now. Are you gonna dress up?
Well, I thought the scariest thing I could do was just wear makeup.
Oh yeah, because for our show just before Halloween, I'm gonna teach you how to do makeup, aren't
I? Now, do I need to buy liquid liner or am I not ready for that? I've got an eyeliner pen.
What are you gonna dress up as? What are you gonna do?
I thought a tweed lesbian was my best outfit for stage.
But you wanna have a change. You're gonna dress up as something different for Halloween.
Well, I've got my sequin cat suit. I've got a nice what on the Lisa show wore the other night, a nice sequined looking paisley dress with a sequin cross your heart. I quite like that.
Okay.
Glam. A bit jazzy. Oh, Mum wants me to know when we want to be wearing an outfit that I only usually wear to a festival outfit because really it works better where people are highly intoxicated or on chemicals. It might be a little too Clockwork Orange for dick and truck jokes, which is my set.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a thought. If you put too much makeup on, they won't be able to see your facial expressions.
Yeah.
So what might be good is just anybody but dead. You could do anything. You could be any celebrity, or you could just be any person and just have a bit of blood coming down there, or just a little bit. And you could have like quite if you can get some highlighter, just make a lot of highlighter on your face and that, so you look dead, like very
right. What's highlighter?
shiny shit that you put on your cheeks. Not literal shit. It's now just
frozen. I'm frozen. My internet's frozen. There it is. There she is. Oh man, if this happens with Sian, I am so terrible. I'm so scared.
Well, what can you do? There's nothing. You're in the best place in the house, aren't you?
Yep.
So there's nothing
according to the pandemic, I'm in the best part of the country. Right, just before we do, because I'm sure our guests will arrive in the dining room any second now. So I just want to, because I loaded this into the machine for the Lucy show. It's just going to be a couple of seconds for the tourist trap.
It's the Welsh Weekly Wrap-Up. If it's in Wales, we're all over it. The new agency for Welsh tourism, Wow Wales, have appointed their CEO, Elaine Gibbons. Controversially, 48-year-old Elaine hasn't set foot in Wales for 47 and a half years. Nonetheless, she says she's thrilled to be leading a talented tourism team all set to sell Wales to the world. How are they going to do that? The world and Wales waits with bated breath.
Oh, very good. That was really good fun. And it's on iPlayer at the moment.
I know. I am rather excited. It's I tried looking up about Sian, not like a stalker, like somebody who's researching an interview. What I'm fascinated in is
I thought you'd refresh yourself.
Yeah, I just thought, most comedy interviews are like, oh, how did you get started? And I don't want to ask you that, but I can't work out how she got started. Like, what was it? Was she a writer of other things? Was she?
I don't know.
How did she end up going into screenwriting? You know,
it is all right to ask those things, Lucy. It's not like. Yes, it's not like it's, oh, what a hack interviewer by asking someone, how did you start out? I think that is okay. That's a legit question.
Yeah.
Do you want to send me your questions? Because you might not be here to ask them the way your internet's going.
Well, I didn't know, like, you know, some people say, oh, I really like, comedy interviews are really like, when did you start? When did you do this? Where did you do that? And we have had such amazing interviews. Like, nobody knew that Larry Morgan, you and me, were going to discuss house pricing and wall painting for such an intense time.
BDSM with Charlie Thomas.
Never expected that one to happen.
We didn't. And my life was all the richer for it, has to be said.
But still, when she goes, can you manage?
I can't. The worst thing about BDSM, I think, is trying to think of a safe word. I'd be like, chips, or I don't know what kind of safe word.
Are you okay? Yeah, I am okay. Carry on, I'm just hungry.
Yeah. My safe word would be like, what are you putting where now? Why are you doing that?
I think my safe word would be keto. Because there's no way I'd ever fucking use that in my real
life. No. Cheesecake. Yeah. I don't know.
Cheesecake. I don't. Quiche, that means keep going.
Quelle surprise. Oh, and also, well, no. I'm just thinking of the time. All right. Can't say anything if you've got something stuffed in your mouth anyway.
Do you know what? When I get the ability to do this, I'm going to go back to all the kitchen sinks and just snip the double entendres that come out of Sarah's mouth. I could be dirty if I want.
Hello.
I hope as well everybody managed to get a chance to watch or already watched Diane Morgan's comedy Mandy. We will be reviewing Mandy after the interview. Also, I've prepared a little snippet of it because my IT skills are through the roof.
Well done. I wouldn't know how to do that.
You will do, because it's ridiculously easy. If I've done it, I've always on the most convoluted Heath Robinson way of doing it. I'm sure there's easier ways, but I'm not interested.
Can I tell you Sarah's? Is Sian in the dining room yet?
Not yet. No, Sian's not in the dining room yet.
Can I tell you my Sarah's a numpty of the week? Which is well, my numpty of the week. This is last week on our week off. I woke up one day and thought, have I got car insurance? And I could not find anywhere, because normally an insurer, they either just do a rollover and you're like, I was going to look for a new insurer, but too late, or it runs out, but they will send you an email. But I genuinely couldn't remember if I had insurance or not. And I bought my car about this time last year, and I thought, well, clearly I haven't got insurance. Could not find anything on my online account for my insurance company. And I was on a roll because I'm on a mission. I'm finally growing up. I'm doing my dishes and all the rest of it. I thought, I'm going to buy car insurance. I bought car insurance. I sorted it all out. It took me like an hour to find the right car insurance, a good price and everything. I bought it, came upstairs to my office. Guess what I saw straight away, pretty much? My car insurance from last year, and it doesn't run out till November. So I had car insurance sorted end of September. I was so annoyed at myself, because if you if you ask for quotes beforehand, you get a better deal. Whereas I was like, I need it today. And I don't know why I did that, because I wasn't even going to use the car that day. So I was like, oh, so annoyed. Bridgman, numpty of the week. My numpty of the week this week was dropping my phone into the loo. I was on the I was down the beach, as you are, on the loo, just quickly checking my YouTube. So I've started a YouTube channel for weight loss. So just checking how many views I had, 47 at that point. And and I stood up, dropped my phone. It went, see, this is the toilet seat. It went boink and then into the. I was like, no! It was in there for like literally 2 seconds, and that was enough for it to go, I don't want to live anymore. And that was it. But luckily, I took it to the phone shop and they sorted it out. They cleaned it all up and I got my phone back. Yay! But I've had 2 weeks running where I've been numpty of the week.
I mentioned to Ray that you had done such a thing. Well, in fact, I said one of the Sync girls has done this, but I didn't say who.
Down the sink.
And he was like, she didn't put her phone in a bag of rice, did she? And I thought, fuck, when did the only thing I knew about wet phones become not the law?
Why are we not allowed to put our phones in rice?
I don't know, but it's like, what's upside down now? Are unicorns real? I thought you wet your phone, you put your phone in the rice, bang.
Because it's a desiccant, dries out your phone. And I did put my phone in rice, and then I took it to the phone shop and they fixed it for me. So I have my phone there. Yay.
I can't mock you for getting your phone wet, because if I do, the next thing I do will be to drown my phone. So for phone karma, I'm just going to say to you, I'm sorry for your loss and I'm glad it survived.
Yes, it's back from the dead. I'm calling it Lazarus. Very happy.
Now, I don't mean to interrupt, but we happen to have a VIP in the dining room. Woo! And it's time to get her out of the room of mahogany and into the kitchen.
That's what we do with our guests. We get them out. Get out of that room.
So, without further ado, we're going to introduce person in her own right, Sian Harries.
Hello, Sian.
Hello.
Very well, thank you.
I just definitely.
I'm okay, thank you, guys. You know that you guys like warning mature content. Like, I know, this is for me then too. Mature.
Yeah, I put it in the email, Sian, and halfway through we all get our tips out.
Oh good. I'm glad that's still happening.
We got reviewed by one of our regular listeners, as one of our listeners, as like loose women on glue. We're happy with that.
I mean, that's why not? That's amazing.
So we're really happy.
Responsible. Every time we play a video clip, I have a sneaky drag of a fag. No one knows.
I just openly drink alcohol. Cheers.
Oh, love. I used to work in a TV studio. And the VTs were so long. They were like 11 minutes that everybody used to go out for a cigarette and then come back in. But we were just thinking, like, imagine if it broke down and then you were just all of us, like the camera crew, the sound guys, all the presenter, everyone's outside.
We're having a fag. Oh, anyway, we're back.
And he'd run back in before it finished. Went, oh, and that was about drives. So funny, like not on the ball at all. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Do you know, I'd love it if they were TV that was real. That they would. Let's just be honest. We know it's showbiz. Let's just have it where we're all drinking. Whatever. I don't smoke, but I know Lucy does. Whatever. Just, let's be realistic. Don't do what we do, kids. Don't do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly, love. To listen to us.
Like HTV News stops, and you've got Moira Stewart putting a thing out in a sherry. And back to the news.
Yeah, brilliant. I used to want to be Moira Stewart when I was little. I was so in love with her. I was like, she's the best, and she is still the best.
She is.
Her voice
honestly,
is amazing.
I loved her. She was on what's his name? Chris Evans' breakfast show. He brought her back to go on that, and I'm like, She's got the best voice in the world.
She's now on Classics. She's now on Classic FM. She does a show on Classic FM because I listen to Chris Moyles and they're always talking about who's in the global radio house. Like it's like a big den. Like Moira Stewart just walked past.
Oh my God, I would be like that.
Apparently, Moira Stewart calls everybody Bay.
What?
So she walks past and she goes, "Hi, Bay."
Oh, that would be life. She's incredible. She's amazing.
Okay.
You know, if it was like zombie apocalypse, if Moira Stewart was like told me, I'd be like, okay, there's a zombie apocalypse. There's nothing to be worried about. It's fine because she's got such a kind of calm demeanor, and I just trust her. Trust her with everything.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't rolled her out to tell us all like the pubs are closing, and we'd be like, okay, no worries, Moira.
Oh, bad luck. Yeah, exactly.
Don't get anything from her. She's fab. Yeah. Oh, thanks for coming on our show. We're not ready.
This is so fun.
Oh, good.
How long have you guys been doing this? This.
Yeah, no. This, whatever this is. I think we're on 26, 27 weeks, something like that. You get a bit woozy with dates and things.
Oh, 7 o'clock?
Oh, but that's brilliant though. It's such a... So did it kick up? Did you start doing it because of lockdown?
Kind of. I got a bit upset. Well, when lockdown hit, I went a bit crazy. I used to run, sorry Ray, RIP Rafaz, I used to run a new acne material night, really helping new people have a go at comedy. Yeah. And for my last podcast, Lucy turned up and she's been gigging all over the world because she is Little Miss. Online comedy is where it's at. She just wants to perform all the time. And I'm like, cool. Talk to her, find out what that's all about. And that's how we got to know each other. And literally on that podcast, I was like, well, I quite fancy doing a show on Twitch because I was a bit obsessed with Twitch. And Lucy went, right, we're doing it. We're calling it the kitchen sink. I was like, oh, okay, fine. And since then, that's what we've been doing. And yeah, Lucy took me by the scruff of the neck because I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know. And here we are. Now I have to do stuff.
There's so many good things have come out of like having to, you know, being bored. You know, when you're little and you're forced to do stuff, and you were like, oh, like going to chapel or something. You just had to sit there, and then, you know, because you were bored, you know, you were bored. Your brain would have to entertain itself, and out of that, incredible like games and so much fun. And I think that's how we felt with a bit with lockdown. That kind of, what are we going to do then? Like, you know, and even though it's rubbish, it's so rubbish, like a lot of finding creative outlets. And
yeah.
Because you have to, you go mad, I think.
Yeah.
I think your podcast, The Froth, would you have managed to get all those amazing guests each week if it wasn't for the fact they could just ring it in from their kitchens?
No way. And everyone was bored and everyone hadn't seen anyone. So everyone was like, oh my God, yeah, of course I'll, you know what I mean? Talk about nonsense and it was just lovely. And also, me and Rod would never have found the time to do it together because no way would we be in the same place every week. You know, that's not happening. So it's, yeah, and our really good friend Barry Castagnolo is a producer, and it was just, it really saved us as well because we were going mad, you know, arguing, and it was like, we have to get this down on tape because it's funny. Do you know what I mean? There must be something we can do with it. So, and it's a really lovely way for us to see our friends constantly, and not just talk about doom and gloom, talk about nonsense. It's real tonic.
Well, I'm glad to see anything back about Barry's mum's monkeys. I'm biased.
She's,
you know, I'm starting a petition to bring back Chimp Quiz.
Oh my God! Okay, we'll do it. I'll forward. Honestly, let's do it. We love doing quizzes. And
I'm not going to just rant about Barry's mum's gloves, but Barry very kindly did an online performance for the Aneurin Bevan charity gig that we did. And he was absolutely marvelous. And I kept wanting to interrupt and going, I remember when you said, because his mum collects monkeys for the listeners and viewers of the show. And she had a monkey that had little boxing gloves on, but it upset her that they should have a monkey that was violent. So she unstitched the boxing gloves, expecting to find little monkey hands in there. But it was just faux.
The toy monkeys, they're teddy bears, they're not real. We've had some people going, are they real or what? I don't get it. I don't understand. It was like, no.
Because that's just so sick. Yeah, she's got like desiccated monkeys in the back room.
Covered in shit. What are you doing? Yeah, exactly. So she took off the boxing gloves, right? And she was upset because
just little stumps.
That would give me nightmares. I think that sounds like the stuff of nightmares, honestly.
Incredible. And I'd never met before this. Obviously, we know each other for years, but I've never met her properly. And this is such a treat. Just phoning her and Ian is such a delight because they obviously, you know what I mean? They're wonderful. Such a joy to be talking to. And they're little monkeys. And every time we phone them, they've been up to something else. You know what I mean? They've been on a little adventure. They've taken them to the museum. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's all genuine. Like, it would all be happening regardless of anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice there's a constant. No matter what's going on, you can rely on those monkeys.
So not only did you start the Froth podcast because obviously you were incarcerated, pandemically incarcerated, but do you miss doing the radio show, or were you okay with it ending? Because I mean, it was every single week for how long?
For like 10 years, just as we were kind of getting together. So I think 10 years, and then I came much later, obviously, but it was wonderful. And like, radio was such a fun place to work, and all the producers are gorgeous, and it's really good discipline as well, as you know, like to do things live, because you have that element of, oh my god, like we can't swear, and it's such a good discipline to. And also, I think we play with it, that thing of, okay, we have to be on our best behaviour, but we're clearly not on our best behaviour. So there's always that line, which is so helpful. With this, I mean, it's just as fun, and you can push the boundaries a bit more. I mean, the stuff we talk about, but then you don't have. Yeah, we do miss it. It was just becoming impossible because Rod was on tour, and we couldn't do it. We were just never together on a Saturday morning, and you know, it was becoming a bit of a joke. Like, other people would just do it constantly for us, and it was like, it's not our show anymore, is it? So, I mean, who knows? We may go back to it because we do love it. We did, really enjoy it. But at the moment, we're just loving the freedom of doing it from our kitchen and our basement, and being able to talk about things you can't talk about on Radio Wales.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god!
I did the funny news story. You know, on the Radio Wales on a Sunday morning, they had Jamie Owen for a few years, and I was the funny news commentator a few over like a 5-year period. And they get me in like 2 or 3 times a year, and it was so much fun. Yeah. But in the back of my mind, I'd be sometimes, especially if we were feeling a bit like naughty or whatever, I'd be like, oh, don't swear.
Oh, absolutely awful. And because it was in our house as well, and sometimes you'd be wearing cans and you'd be hungover, and then Barry would be there, or Lloyd would be there, or Clint, you know, and you're like, friends are in a kitchen, and it's so easy to forget. And then you just have to go to like, you know what I mean? And now, cold. It was like, honestly, God, the amount of times we nearly said that. But that was fun.
Did you have anyone in the room like reining you in, or were you just?
No, we had lovely Paul, who was a producer, on the old headphones. But sometimes, you know, if it's like, if you take them off, and so I wasn't, you know, listening. So yes, I think if you're in your home, you know, if you're in a one.
Yes. Oh, I don't know if it's my. I think your internet might be going a bit, but is it me, Or is it
No,
you guys?
Sian, your internet is going a little bit underwatery.
Hang on, let me open the hang on.
Sorry.
Open the window or open the door.
It's such a nightmare.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's if I let the internet in.
So
I'm in my grandfather's. Look at my grandfather's.
It'll be the thick walls, it is.
Yeah.
So,
You want to see?
I was having a little stalk on your Facebook, on your Twitter, sorry.
Yeah.
So I was researching our guest.
Stalking.
Stalking. Are you currently in West Wales or are you currently in London?
West Wales at the moment.
So you're trapped.
Oh, lovely.
There's no way of getting. There's no way. Have you thought?
West Walians are not trapped. The last I looked, I'm very jealous. I'm in Swansea.
Are you?
Swansea.
Are you?
I'm trapped.
So what you could do, Sian, you could fly or sail to Ireland, then go down to Portugal, up through France, up through Spain and France, come back in through Kent, because I don't think you're allowed through Wales.
Yeah, I could do that. That's a really good idea.
Take a GoPro, make a documentary for BBC Wales.
Or just say you're travelling for work. That's what I'm going to do.
Exactly. Pembrokeshire isn't on lockdown though. For some reason, we're okay at the moment. Touch wood. So we're still we're okay. Like, not that we go anywhere. We're visiting Rod's dad, love him, who's in an old people's home down the road, and they're amazing. God, they're so kind and brilliant. So we're visiting him. That's why we're here. We're doing the family thing, and we're going back to London hopefully at some point. It's mad, the difference. Like, we split our time basically between this part of the world and London, and it's incredible, the difference in just everything, you know.
It's a sublime, because like in West Wales, so Pembrokeshire, it's really rural, you know, for anyone that, because we get Nigerian listeners, Sian. So for anyone that doesn't know Wales, you know, it's we're very international. So, you know, it's so rural. And then you got London that everyone's heard of. It's like the world's busiest city. It's London. It's literally London. So it's like, it's like from the sublime to ridiculous.
It's brilliant. Just, you know, isolated, lovely. Everyone knows each other. It's wonderful. So different. I know, I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Like in Swansea, like growing up in Swansea, I was like, I can't wait to leave. Everybody, you know, everyone knows my business, and Mrs. Jones knows whenever I go out drinking, you know, and it would be really. Yeah. But now I'm so, especially with when the pandemic hit, just like, oh, it's nice being around people that you know, and you know all the area, and you've known people, you know the local homeless people, and
go Swansea.
He's not with us anymore, but we all knew him.
So I'm laughing.
London.
No, you're like, Swansea's really beautiful as well. Like, really beautiful. Like the coast bit of sort of Swansea, you know, like the bit where CNA.
That is correct, Sian. The coast bit is very nice. Just ignore the city centre.
Exactly. Like the bit where, you know, I bought a pair of jeans that I thought Levi's and they weren't. That's not too. That's not too good.
Does Levi have a Y?
But I teach people in the day, and one of the guys was like, "Oh, I'm coming to Swansea on holiday next week," and I was like, "Oh, are you? Okay, no. stay on the beach." Well, we have got nice restaurants.
Do you guys remember? Did you ever go to what was that pub called that was open really late at night? Oh, got Mozart.
Yes. Oh,
it's not there, is it not there?
Rafaz was in Mozart.
I stayed the night there.
Oh my god! Thank you.
I know.
Did you book a room? Or were you just like, I'll just sleep here?
Yeah.
You know, if you sleep in the doorway, it doesn't count as staying there.
We had rooms upstairs, like, because it was a hotel. Was it a hotel? Like,
Yeah.
who knows? It was
Yeah.
honestly proper like Hotel California. That's kind of what is going on in here. And so I stayed the night, and I think it was like what it was like £15 for the room. You know what I mean? Like,
Is that all?
it was really, you know, one of those places you're like, I'm not sure if it is a hotel.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, just get in a spare room. I'll only charge you 15 grand.
If you want. As in, is there a key? Is there a lock?
I'll just put the chair against the door just in case. Yeah.
That mirror
I know.
looks a bit see-through.
Yeah. Really weird.
I kind of know Wendy, who used to run it, and the sad thing is it got closed down because it got bought out. It was going to be made into flats, and then they're not. Wendy sent me a link only a couple of weeks ago saying they're not going to. They closed the whole thing down. They had a massive goodbye Mozart's party. You can imagine what that was like.
I loved
about
it
3 years ago. And then they and now the people aren't developing it anyway, so they blinking bought our Mozart's off us, and they're not going to do anything with it anyway. They're absolutely gutted. Yeah.
So what? That would be such a good comedy place. Oh my god, it's such a good venue.
It was so.
Isn't it
I tell you what, it
incredible?
was in all our hearts, Rafaz. It was. We were there for 3 years, and we just loved it. You know, and I was like, it just never felt the same. Once we left Mozart's, it was just like. It just every venue we went to, they closed down. We had to move on because all the venues kept closing down. And then it's our fault. COVID's our fault. Sorry, guys. We clearly closed the venue enough. We had to close on the country. I put it to bed now, just in case it really is cursed.
Oh no.
We've got the Elysium Art Gallery in Swansea now, which is great. It's on the high street, and a lot of comedy stuff goes on there. They had Tony Law online from the Elysium. So when we're back up to normal, we'll be back there probably, or do something there.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's really cool. It's really good fun.
I miss live events so much at the moment.
Oh, God, me too. I just miss everything. Have you done any gigs? Have you been out anywhere since the lockdown?
No. We've been out for a meal in. We went out for a meal. Where did we go? We've been sitting outside. Really, I haven't been able to. I just haven't sat indoors anywhere because it feels mad to me. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure people each their own and stuff, but to me, it feels mad. But I've eaten a lot of bar meals outside. Do you know what I mean? Like a little bit too cold.
Yeah.
But I'm like, great, in like West Wales weather, pretending it's fine. So yeah.
Esilt Sears.
Yeah.
She did. She hosted a comedy night in Cardiff in a park called Block Comedy. Yeah. So I did the second one. That was so much fun. It was so good to do. Can't wait to go back to. We call it live comedy, but we are alive right now. But out in the world.
No, there's something about it, isn't there? And they're just me and Rod watched a live music gig the other night. What was it? Just everyone, and you could see who else was watching as well, and all these little elderly couples in their front rooms and stuff watching this classical music, and it was really beautiful anyway. But they played Old Lang Syne on the violin and on we were just swelling up because it was like, we miss this so much. You want people watching it. So weird, that shared experience. It's not about being there, it's about seeing other people being there, isn't it?
It's being human. There's got to be something being human that you have to be around other people. Now, pre-COVID, I was very much, I don't like people hugging me. Don't hug me. I've been hugged too many times by people, when they hug you a bit too much and they squeeze your boobage area a bit too much. I'm done with surprise hugs, thanks. But I would even take a hug, depending on how unsmelly they are. I'd even hug someone. That's how much I've had enough of this lockdown.
Exactly, I'm exactly the same. And people who are too like used to stand too close to you or something. Now I'd be like, oh my god,
yay! We're gonna be nuggets.
I don't mean to paraphrase, ladies, but you've just said, "Oh, do you know, I've been so segregated. I'd even take some sexual harassment right now." That's what I just heard.
That is what I said.
I just want somebody to sniff my hair awkwardly.
I tweeted about this today. I was on the phone. This is so Westphalian. I was on the phone buying a kettle because I went on, they were like on their website. They go, "You have to phone us." I was like, oh, "Okay." So it's a local place, which is really lovely. But I was like really flirting with the guy who's just going through different types of kettles they've got, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, depends how much, you know what I mean? Like, rubbish flirting." Yeah. But it's that kind of, it's that need for human like connection. Like, please talk to me, because the only person I speak to is Rod.
I need to speak to anyone else. I love you, but I need to speak to another human being. Yeah.
Flirt with a man in the kettle shop.
One of the reasons why I was so keen to get you on our show, Sian, is we favour female acts to come as guests, because I'll say it, I'm sexist. I'm not going to speak for her, but I am. I think we're the stronger, better race.
I'm for equality.
I'm not.
I'm for equality.
Like, I can't hear what you're saying because you're over the glugging of wine being poured.
I'm for equality. For the rich. Cheers, everyone.
And another thing. I appreciate how you and that guy you're with has treated online comedy. And how you've been doing like the froth. You didn't like just go, oh, you know, woe is us, wait until the pandemic is over. You've done the froth. I know that your partner has supported lots of quizzes and comedy shows, and you've had to do that because you're with him. I don't know how consensual it is.
That is true.
But there is definitely something about online comedy. It's still real. I am still alive, and I'm 3D. You two are alive in 3D. We're just doing it through digital means collectively. And I think there is something about doing it this way as opposed to not doing it at all. I mean, if you're willing to sit at home and watch like a DVD of a stand-up show, I don't see how it's that different to watching somebody do it live through a camera. If anything, it's that DVD plus.
Yes, I think it's weird, isn't it? I think it's like, you know how texting developed a different type of humor, and then tweeting has developed a different type of humor, and you know, and we kind of, as human beings, I think we kind of merge to whatever we've got. So it's a different humor will come from this, you know, and it's radio is different to TV, and a different humor will develop from it because you just work with what you've got. And the fact that on Zoom, you know, that thing where you've got people editing, edits to whoever's talking or whoever makes a noise. You can use that to your, I find that so funny because sometimes we do quizzes with our street and say that somebody does a noise, it'll cut to them and they'll panic. That's funny in itself, and that you don't get that from any other medium. I read this thing that this girl had farted in a work meeting and it had cut to her. Oh my god! Like, it wasn't me. It was probably to you because it cuts you. So that,
yes.
Without this, right? So something new will come of it. I'm sure of it. That's
I discovered in week 3 that the mute button on Zoom is for farting, and we were wondering what we're going to be like when we don't have that mute button available.
Isn't it funny though when you see someone just muting it for 3 seconds and then unmuting it? What's that then?
What's that? What are they doing? Why are they doing the video?
Exactly, it's so funny. And like the amount of things I've been in where someone's in the background like making a milkshake and, you know, like really short shorts, like someone's husband, and, you know, everyone is looking at him and nobody's listening to the. It's so funny.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning, I think one of the first week, this manager, right, she did this team meeting and she'd been playing with the stuff and she turned herself into a potato. And the picture was of her as a potato, like, and everyone else was just pissing themselves. That, oh, honest to God, that makes me laugh to this day.
Yeah, so much funny stuff you could do with it because everyone's in their own little world as well. You don't get that in normal times. You don't get to see what everyone.
The brilliant thing when you tell a joke in Zoom and no one laughs, you just go, "Oh, you're all muted. I bet you're all laughing your asses off at that." Oh, tell you what, unmute now. Unmute now.
It's so awkward, isn't it? The amount of times we've had Zoom parties and somebody. It's just bad communication. There's like a dropout, isn't there? And sometimes it's timing. Oh God.
Sometimes I like to think it's because they laugh so loud that Zoom cuts it out. That's what actually happens. That's what I tell myself. I'll just pause because they're clearly laughing, even though I can't hear it. I'll move on.
Oh, as it's just us girls, I'll tell you some gossip from the other night, right? So I was doing an online comedy Zoom online night. So there's a there's a comedy club I do every single week, and it gets acts from all over Americas. I'm representing the UK. Everybody else is American, and there's a guy who it cut to him. He was outside with earphones on. And that always annoys me. I mean, sometimes people have got very loud houses, so they do it outside in a park because they can actually, it's the quietest place they can go to. Nah, this guy was just outside and thought, I'll phone it in. And he starts off and went, well, I've just been stood up. Did like 2 or 3 jokes. Well, I say jokes, he did 2 or 3 sentences.
Yeah.
There were no jokes. And then he went, well, you're obviously all muted, aren't you? And we all went, no, we're not muted. He went, what? You just thought it was unfunny? And he went, oh, fuck this. And then just hung up. And only did 2.5 minutes. And the thing is, because like you were saying about people doing like going out for a fag and stuff, the MC on the online night, she hadn't had time for food, so she was eating during the 5-minute set. So it just suddenly, he just hung up. I was doing it. I put it back onto him. He was like,
oh my God.
Right. Coming up next. and they messaged me to say, are they okay? Did I upset them? And I went, no, he just told a joke that wasn't funny and his ego had already been bruised by the fact he'd been stood up on Tinder.
What an awful night.
He's not sexy or funny. God love him, isn't it?
Oh God. Awful.
Talking about like Zoom and all the way we're doing things now having to change. Did you see Staged with Michael Sheen and David Tennant?
No, I still haven't seen it. I really want to see it. Is it good?
It's really good. It's really good.
It's on Deep. It's on Netflix. You've got no excuse. You probably know him.
I need to see it. There's so many things I need to see. Oh my God. Yes, I want to see it.
Would you be interested in writing that kind of thing or pitching that kind of thing, do you think?
What kind of thing? Because I haven't seen it.
You know the thing you haven't seen.
What are you talking about?
Perfect interviewing skills I've got.
Hang on. Let me pull this back. Didn't you do a Zoom version of Wow Wales?
Yes, we did. Yeah. Well, was it Zoom? Yeah, we did a radio version where they're all on lockdown.
Right, she's laughing at me because Lucy is the most competitive person you'll ever meet. And she's just being bloody competitive right now.
Is it that thing? What was it? Are they kind of on Zoom?
Yes.
Right.
So basically, so they were.
Right. Okay.
So the stage, they're in a play. So Michael Sheen and David Tennant, they've been cast in a play before lockdown, and the director wants to carry on and do the play. That's the premise, but they're going to rehearse online. But it's them like they'll be misbehaving and behaving like children, and in the end, I won't say the end because I think that'll spoil it. But every week they have like a guest person on who's just ostensibly to do with the play to try and get them back on track. And yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah,
and the episode's only like 15 minutes as well.
Oh God, no, I would definitely do that. So they've used the whole conceit of everything's locked down and you're not going to do it anymore. And I think it's really interesting, isn't it? So much to do with that. Again, it's like using whatever you've got. So many things come from that creatively.
Yeah, yeah.
And for me, my friend edited, there was no time lag. That was the twist thing, because it really was. It was like there was no judgery. Action was just perfect streaming.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh no, I really want to see it. That sounds really good.
Because I was Lucy's been wanging on about it for bloody ages, so just like, oh, I better watch it, shut her up. And it was, oh no, it is really good.
And I really do want to see it. What else have you been watching on lockdown?
Oh God, what haven't I been watching? I think I've finished Netflix.
Oh God,
I'm on YouTube. I've nearly finished YouTube.
Netflix is driving me mad. I can't find anything to watch. That sounds mental because there's so stuff on there.
Very strange how they do it. How you put something on and you think, well, it's going to take me to something similar. No.
Yeah.
It's sort of like standing in a library without the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Exactly what it's like. It's too much. There's too much. And so, like me and Rod, we sit there every night and for 50 minutes, just kind of looking for stuff in silence for 50 minutes, and then go, should we just go to bed? Like, it's not entertaining. I sound so old, but when you just used to have like 4 or 5 channels, it would be like, well, we're watching this. Because
yes, and the whole country was watching the same thing. Isn't it? So there is that shared sense of like when Broadchurch was on and the whole country was watching it, you did have that shared sense of, oh, everyone's watching it, and you had to watch it because everyone's going to. And with RuPaul's Drag Race to a certain extent, you've got to watch it on the night. You've got to watch it on the blinking night because RuPaul's twittering all about it. So I can't stand Twitter.
No, exactly, and that's the only reason I watch things like royal weddings. Not because I'm interested in the royals, but I love everyone else is watching it. It's like, oh God, let's all like gossip about what's happening, and I really enjoy that, and I miss that. I don't like watching things, on my own.
Well,
10 years.
I personally, it's either comedy or someone's got to die. I love a murder mystery. Death, not horror. I don't want ghosts killing people. I want humans that get caught at the end.
Okay.
So we've just discovered the cheesy murder mysteries on Hallmark. Oh, we are gobbling through them like a meth addict. So we've done the garage sale murders, the gourmet detective. We've got Aurora Garden, Ruby Garden. We're just...
What's the garage sale murders?
Oh, she goes to the garage sale. She's an antique. It's basically Lovejoy, but it's Laurie Loughlin.
Right. Okay. What happens? So what happens? Is it like,
she'll go to one sale and she picks up a reel-to-reel tape player that she thinks she can flip for a profit. She gets it to work, and the first tape goes, don't kill me. She's like, oh, where did this come from?
Oh my God, this is brilliant. That sounds amazing.
She bought a wedding dress and it had a hidden pocket, and in the hidden pocket was a blood-stained tissue.
That's maybe.
I'm no detective, but even I reckon I could solve that murder.
Yeah, she and her lover
on the day
going out with the best man, and they shivved the groom before the wedding.
No.
What?
Oh, he wasn't a very nice person. It's fine.
That's more blood than
it was a marriage of convenience. If anything, she was freer.
If you were the bride, why would you put a tissue with like your groom's blood in your pocket on your wedding day?
And this is another reason why women shouldn't be allowed pockets.
I'm so glad
Dangerous pockets. This is what they were always on about. They were hanging on during the suffragette system.
Exactly. Give a woman pockets, and
we'll murder anyone.
I definitely. If you have UK TV Play, easy. That's a catchy channel, isn't it? UK TV Play. So it's like Dave. It's on Freeview. It's on. It's on Murderers. It's on Freeview, so it's like Dave and Drama, all the UK TV channels. Yeah, so it's called Brokenwood Mysteries, but it's in New Zealand. So it's all the fun of Midsummer Murder, but everybody talks like this.
Oh my god, I'm definitely going to watch this. This sounds amazing. Have you guys
when Sin died and they had chemicals in the shit?
I really want to see this. This sounds amazing. Have you guys been watching well, why would you? But like, is it not Bid Up TV, but one of those TV sale things with Peter Simon on it?
No, a TV sale thing with Peter Simon.
Do you know Peter Simon? Do you know Peter Simon?
Was he a Peter presenter?
Wasn't he crying over a watch?
Yes, he was crying over a watch. Like he was Run the Risk and what's it, Double Dare on Going Live when we were kids, and he's brilliant.
Oh,
he's amazing. Yeah. So he's like selling all this stuff, and he had his head in his hands and tears in his eyes when he went, "We've only got 4 of these watches left." Like he's incredible. Like, he's so dramatic, and it's honestly so entertaining.
What channel is that on? That sounds like a BBC.
It's kind of it's one of those Bid Up is finished though, hasn't it? It's one of those QVC shows.
Oh, brilliant. I'm gonna look at that.
Him like trying out different exercise machines and going, I can feel my stomach disappearing already, and then holding it's so funny. And the set is like designed for Christmas. There'll be like a Christmas tree there. And then he's trying to do a sit-up next to like loads of little presents that have been wrapped up as sex. It's hilarious. I love it. Honestly.
See, I will always love Gems TV. Okay. Yeah. Gems TV is where you buy a ring. So if you can see my fingers like that, the ring would be this high. Okay. So for us 3, we'd only do this once, and we'd have all of our hair would be caught in this ring. We'd catch strangers' hair from the next village over. The ring is that big, and then they go, "This should be £7,000."
What are you selling it to me?
350. 350 tonight. Should be 7,000. It's 350. Ring in.
But it's just
I'm buying it.
It's so funny. It's so funny. My dad used to be addicted to Bid Up TV when it was on. My dad was addicted to everything. He was addicted to Bid Up TV. So like every now and again, I would hear a shout up the stairs going, "Sian, do you use clutch bags?" And I was like, "Not really." Like, what? Do you know what I mean? There's a beautiful clutch bag going for 20 quid. He's just been sucked into this. Dad, I don't need it. I won't use it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Dad, I'm an automatic.
Hey!
I love those channels, especially now. They're so entertaining, and it's so nice to feel that normal life is carrying on, you know?
Yeah. I remember the first time I walked in on my parents watching Tipping Point.
All right. Yeah.
There was no conversation to be had that day, let's just say. And I'd not seen it before. I'd literally popped. I thought, "Oh, come in for a cup of tea." And they're like, just watching it, like, yeah, sit down. We're watching Tipping Point. And they're like, zombies. And I watched it for 5 minutes. And I'm like, am I really? I'm sure a comedian said this somewhere, but am I really watching this? Am I watching you watching massive pennies fall down? Is that really what we're watching here now? I couldn't believe it. My parents, who are, in their 70s, and I'm like, there's got to be more intelligent stuff you can watch on TV. pennies falling down. And they're like, still, oh, you're nearly there. You've nearly got this money. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Wet. I'd rather they took heroin than watch Tipping Point, frankly. Well, maybe not, because I was my mum cooking and she's great.
What was I gonna? I remember when we went wedding ring or engagement ring shopping. That was one of the things I told the woman in the shop was, I was like, I want to be able to. I actually think I said this to her. I said, I want to be able to imagine myself swimming in it.
Yeah.
She was showing me like new ones, and I was like, yeah, but what would it look like if you went to like a leisure centre? You know what I mean? Would it look out of place? And Rod is going, when do you go to a leisure centre?
Yeah.
That's the criteria. But that thing of you don't want it too blingy, otherwise you just you know what I mean? It's too much.
You'd be like, sorry, I can't lift my hand up because my ring's too heavy.
And just people just can't, you know, be staring at it.
Nice to meet you.
One hand constantly on a float.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the shallow end.
Right. Yeah. Just in case. I'm not going in with the waves on. Do you want to go to Swansea with the wave machine?
The Swansea wave machine was lethal. Wow.
I'm sure it killed a few kids, that bloody wave machine, honestly.
I don't
Full flying gale.
How that was allowed. I think Swansea Leisure Centre was run by people who was in charge of that place? Do you know what I mean?
The Gordon Brittus, was his name Gordon Brittus? It was like the British Empire. That leisure centre. The deep dive pool, actually. This is Swansea Leisure Centre for anyone who's still watching. Who's like, what are they talking about? They had the dive pool, right? I don't know any other facility in the world that they created a concrete tube, filled it with water, went, yeah, people can dive in it. It was like 4 foot wide. And it was honestly, it was like 2 stories high, and it killed at least 2 people. I don't know. I mean, it's not there anymore.
I mean, it's not exactly, but and then they had these chutes, the scariest chutes in the world. One of them was just you literally went into it, and it would spin you around and then dropped you, but underwater. So unless you took a breath at the moment, that was it. Like, and then it would spit you out, and then someone would scream "wave machine," and then a wave machine would start. And you can't get out of it. Like, how?
Yeah. This wasn't an anxiety. This wasn't a Welsh collective anxiety dream. This happened to many kids.
And it wasn't localized. We had Clinician Leisure Centre, and we had tube ride, but the tube went out of the building.
Oh, we had that.
Which meant as soon as you got to that bit of the slide, the water was fucking freezing. So it was warm, cold. Right? And then
open air.
Then it took you out a couple more spins and shot you straight into the shallow end with the training kids. So you've got some kid in goggles, lifeguard, water wings, and a float. And then there's Baz and Steve just going straight into them. And as soon as you're about to get out, all you hear is wave machine. And you see all these frantic women in floral swimming caps, breaststroking their way for their life to the outside.
Yeah.
Come on, Mildred. This is not the time.
What is wrong with Welsh people and swimming? Honestly, God, it's so hilarious. People like you couldn't even have a chat. It was like, oh my God, it's like being caught in a storm, like a proper. Yeah. Well, we just have to batten down the hatches and wait to tell you. But you know how everyone after swimming you always have like sausage and chips and stuff, and it's usually a joyous occasion. Everyone in Swansea was like, God, I mean, I'm amazed we got out of that alive.
Yeah, we all had post-traumatic stress disorder from the pool.
just silent in the car on the way home, just absolute silence, like dazed.
Like, we survived.
The beautiful thing, I don't know if this translates to the rest of the globe, because believe it or not, Sian, we may have listeners in Nigeria, but we're also very big in Houston, Texas. And what they do in the South Wales is instead of cleaning the swimming pool, you just tip in another bucket of chlorine. Are we all there on that page?
Yes. Yes. I'm surprised I have eyeballs.
Exactly. Each week, the redness of your eyes just got worse and worse and worse. And chlorine affects how you smell. I mean, that's probably why they used it as a chemical warfare agent. But so as you'd come out, the world would stink because you had chlorine up your nose. And then you presented a small polystyrene tray of soggy chips and 2 fish fingers.
Yeah. Oh, the fish fingers are lovely though. But
They were.
how our leisure centre didn't have any healthy food. Like you couldn't even have water. Do you know what I mean? You weren't even it was scrubby or nothing. And it was I
weren't allowed.
No. Have you got any water? No. Okay.
Chips. That's what we have. Chips. And then didn't even have anything else. This was mad. I loved it though. Happy days. Very happy days.
Hang on, they sold Sunny D in the vending machine. That's like fruit juice.
Sunny D.
Sunny D. Oh my God, the hallucinations. But I'm just conscious that time's ticking on. I just wanted to ask you as well about Man Down. Because you co-wrote on Man Down, and I have to say, it's one of my absolute favourite sitcoms. It makes me cry laughing. It really does. I just absolutely cry laughing. So what's that like writing on I know it's changing tack somewhat.
Anyway, enough about Veronica.
Just like, oh no, I don't want you to go before I say, but what about Man Down? It's so good.
It was amazing. Obviously, it was loads of fun. The two of my best mates, Greg and Steve Morrison, who's the other co-writer on it, and then later Mike Wozniak and Ed Gamble, who are all also incredibly funny, and I love them. Just loads of fun. It was intense. Like we were in Greg's flat for about, God, how long were we in there for? Like 9 months, I think, every day, just writing, and it was fun. And it was like, it feels like we're army buddies, you know what I mean? Like you can go for a while without seeing each other, and then afterwards, after about a few months have passed, you kind of go, all right, you're exactly on the same level. You can't write that stuff together and then not be in tune. You just, So it was wonderful. I mean, it is intense. Writing a sitcom is intense, but it was, really funny and great.
Yeah. So did they give you like that was one of my questions, like, are you all together, or you're like, oh, you do this bit and I'll email you? So you're all together. Did you have like a character each, or did you just talk about the scenes?
No, I think it's hard, isn't it? Like every sitcom is different, but with Man Down, it was quite organic in that we were always together. We would sometimes go away. I know Greg was filming Cuckoo at one point, so me and Steve went away and we wrote a couple of episodes each. But it was largely, I mean, every sitcom is different, Sometimes you're like, okay, this is your episode, and you plot it together meticulously, and then you go off and write it. But we had such a laugh together in the room, and stuff would happen in the room that you would never get if you went away on your own. We've all got obviously different brains, but when you fuse them together, that's when madness happens.
Yeah. And it was mad. That sitcom, especially like the wedding thing. Was it the wedding thing? The last episode of the first series. Yeah. Oh my God, I was crying. So good.
But I mean, and every sitcom is different, and every single person writes differently. Oh God, yeah, it was fun.
Oh, I'm so glad. It was so good. Oh, thank you. Thanks for being part of writing it. It was so much fun.
Oh, I loved it. It was great experience, and we had such a laugh, because I remember when Rick Mail died, it was such a huge knock to us because he's a childhood comedy hero. So we all went to Brighton for the day on the day of his funeral. and we all just went on the log flume and got really wasted, and it was lovely. You know what I mean? That kind of anarchy, we had an anarchy day. So that was really nice in memory of him. So that was, really great time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. No, he's
got a few minutes left, and I feel remiss if I don't ask you the one question I prepared. So how did you get into this then, Sian?
And we need to ask questions. Our viewers have asked some questions as well. So while you're asking your question, Lucy, I'll sit through. We just spent 45 minutes on Quality Leisure Centre and drinking. It's been so much fun.
Okay. Hang on. Let me think. Okay, I've always written comedy.
Brilliant, thanks for that.
I've always written it since I was in school. So me and Ellis James were in school together, and we met each other when we were 10. We're best mates all through big school. We went to uni in Cardiff, not together, but we bumped into each other. Oh God. We we went to Cardiff separately, right? Because it was like, yeah, let's try and make new friends. You know what I mean? This is a new me. And then we ended up in Revolution, and independently, each of us had kind of gone out with our flatmates to try and kind of have a new experience. And I remember being in Revolution going, oh my God, this is awful. And just going to the bar, and Elle was there, and both of us just going, oh, thank God you're here. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Best mate, who is also hating it. And then we were kind of inseparable. So we lived together for, God, was it 10 years? So we started our jobs at the same time. And then Elle moved to London and I moved to London. But we were writing together. We wrote a sketch together in sixth form, which was awful. But like for the school Eisteddfod. And it but we were just always laughing and having a good time. And then I think the first professional thing we did together, we wrote for S4C. We wrote a few sketches that didn't go anywhere, and then we wrote a kid TV animation, which was about a lion who ran a comedy club. and it just went from there, really. I think S4C, we were so lucky because we both did well. We got to write for S4C, which is an incredible experience. And then we just started writing English things, like for Radio Wales, Radio Cymru, and then just grew and grew. Elle was obviously doing stand-up, and I didn't have that. So I remember thinking, oh God, how am I gonna do it then? Because you haven't got a shop window if you don't do stand-up. So then the breakthrough thing that I did was I went for a job as a comedy producer in Radio 4. Didn't get it, but I was down to the last 2, and the people in the interview were like, we think you should be a writer instead. And they're so true. Like, I couldn't be a producer, flipping out. I'm not organised enough. But so I went in on a birthday to do writing instead. And then that's how I ended up writing for all the Radio 4 stuff. And then Greg, who I knew anyway because I met Rod by that point, went, because we always like having a laugh together and we have a similar sense of humour. He said, I want you to come help me write this sitcom thing that I've had commissioned. And then it just went from there, really. Just like that. So it's kind of, just writing all the time, Yeah. Yes.
Oh. Have you got anything?
That's amazing. I mean, go.
I
was just going to say that at the moment, Ellis James at the moment is saying that he's throwing out all of his notebooks from that time, and that he hates any comedy he's ever written. And the diatribe he did on, because I'm a big Alice and John fan.
Yeah.
And he is, and Tourist Trap, and Irene and Bevan. That character's a million. Nez is fantastic.
Oh God, yes.
But he's gone through his house. He's done a little bit of that. Does this bring me joy? And the soliloquy he gave about how he is not funny. He's never been funny. Anything he wrote prior to 5 years ago is utter tripe. And please, if you have any chance to tell him, don't throw those notebooks out, because that is content for 5 years' time.
It's total content. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll text it. I'm going to text him.
Text him. Because Ellis was the MC in my first ever stand-up comedy gig.
Was he?
He was, and I'm so grateful that he was so lovely, because I was really nervous. I was doing this for like an hour. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And he was lush, and he said, he was like, oh, have a good time now, and don't worry about anything, just enjoy. And I was like, okay. And because I'd read how to be a stand-up comedian, in the back of the book it said, oh, ask questions like, how long have you done comedy for? Because I was nervous and I was just trying to be like nice or whatever. I was like, oh, so how many gigs have we done then? And then he went, oh, about 300. To concentrate on the night. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, it was so lovely. I'll never forget it.
So nice. I remember Ellis's first gig, and I was so nervous, and there was a woman in the audience who just kept talking. You know what people are like, and they just don't get it, do they? Some people. I was so angry with her, honest to God, and I felt so bad afterwards because she was a nurse, really, just a lovely nurse out for a night, and I was like, yeah, you're gonna be quiet to you because my best friend is talking. You know what I mean? Like, talk about feeling. I was feeling everything. It was
yes. It must be harder actually watching someone, because I think like for my friends, my friend was like, I'd done something on YouTube and my friend was like, oh, I haven't watched it yet, and I just worry, oh God, they must really put them through it, because we're like just checking ourselves out there going, have this, it's just us, but my friends worry about me sometimes. I'm like, oh, I wonder why.
It's an odd one, isn't it? You don't want to. It's such an odd one, really odd. I remember I've seen Rod do the what's it called, the Royal Variety thing. I've seen him do it twice, and that's the only one. Like, it's because we're not we're not those kind of people. Do you know? Not those kind of people, but we're not performing to the royals people, right? So in sequins next to old people going. We had to sing the English, God Save the Queen, and I genuinely because why would I? And it so what, like I was being political, but I wasn't. I'm just like, I don't know the words.
Yeah, I only know the first line.
Yeah, and then it's kind of I don't.
I come in on the quad bit.
Yes. So but then Rod had to perform, and then it's such this enormous. I don't know. It's this weird thing, isn't it? Where you're like, oh my God, he must be so scared, and he was like, he was smoking at the time, and he couldn't. He lost his voice, and it was like, when nerves are mad, don't they? And so I'm so worried, but he was amazing. He smashed it, thank God. But just that thing, and even though you're not a royalist, you're looking at Prince Charles, going, you're watching my, he must be so nervous. That nerves do such weird things to your body without you have no control over it.
Yeah.
It
didn't put my first gig didn't. I was so nervous, but it still didn't put me off food. 3-course meal before it was like
before.
Yeah, nothing puts me off food. It was at New Orleans because my first gig was in Cardiff, and it was in this pub that was open for like a month on Womanby Street.
Yeah,
and it became the full moon. But this guy that he owned a pub on Dragon Lane in Swansea, and Mad Dog Comedy was there.
I know. Oh, wow.
And Caro put on a Mad Dog. I think she only did 2 months, and she said to me, because I'd gone up to her about 3 months before at the start of the one in Dragon Lane and in Mad Dog, and I was like, oh, I quite fancy giving comedy a go. And she said, well, I'll definitely get you on because there's not many women that want to do it, so just email me. I was like, okay.
Oh, it's terrifying. I'm so in awe of you guys for doing it. My God, because just the thing, I can't eat before going on stage. I just can't. I can have two bottles of Diet Coke usually, and then afterwards, because of the adrenaline, like afterwards, it's like when I'm in Edinburgh. Whenever I do a show in Edinburgh, honest to God, I can eat anything afterwards, and it's just adrenaline. It just burns everything. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
couldn't do it before going on. I'd feel absolutely sick.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not, my first gig, I did the same comedy course that Rod did, and because it's a showcase, it's such a false environment because it's a showcase, it's not a gig. So everybody there is there to will you on.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a utopian environment. If it's a real training school, they should have at least 3 hecklers and a guy that's sick halfway through, and like an 18-year-old on a phone.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Somebody with their back to you. Just oh my God.
Really loudly go, she's not funny.
She's not funny. Oh my God. Totally. It should be an academy.
Although I did get a heckle like that on Zoom. Somebody hadn't muted themselves and I got, well, I'm not listening to her.
Oh, that's awful. Oh,
and I said, and it was the first heckle, when I got heckled in real life, where there's somebody who's talking over me, it wasn't really heckle, but they were. I went into teacher mode where I went, well, I can wait. It's the shittest thing to ever react with. Nobody. What's coming out of my mouth next? It's your own time you're wasting. Well, it's not. It's my set. I was wasting mine. But on this one, I'm not listening to her. And I said, I don't want you to listen to me. Turn off.
Really?
Sian, sorry, can I just ask, though, so we've had a cup before we let you go. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
I'm talking to you.
Oh, and we've just got a couple of questions from Hugh Genus has asked both of these questions, our audience. Right. So
he's one of our biggest fans. He's a lovely man.
Hello.
He's from Durham. He says, was it weird having Ellis James as the voice of Neckface?
Well, no, because I asked him to do the voice of Neckface, and it was he was going to be, let's think, he was always going to be the face of Neckface because I actually designed Neckface's face on Ellis James's face. Ellis, when he does a drunk Geordie impression, he does this face, which is kind of lopsided and really funny. And I said, can you send me a picture of you doing your drunk Geordie? And he did, and I sent that to Dan Martin, the guy who built Neckface, and went, can you just base it on Ellis's face, basically? And it's just really funny. So I think it was weird for Izzy because she is seeing her life partner, Izzy City. She is seeing her life partner as a weird little gremlin voice on her neck during her wedding day, and they're not married yet. So I hope it's not like an omen.
Yes. And he also says, hi, Sian. Hello. Did you enjoy your trip to Patagonia to learn about the Welsh women and their right to vote?
Yes, I did. It's honestly, it's one of the best things I've ever done. It's amazing. So me and Rod is the he's an ambassador for Villindre Cancer. And so every couple of years he does a big kind of walking expedition to places like Kilimanjaro and things like that. And one year was Patagonia, and I've always wanted to go. So I went with him, but I flew out a week before because I wanted to go to the places where they speak Welsh. I've never been, and it's fascinating. And so I thought, this is such a great story. And there's always been a big fuss about whether Welsh women could vote there. And, there's always been like, oh yeah, but Welsh women were voting 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago. So I was like, well, how come nobody knows about this then, Because if it's true, and if it was 1865, then we were the first in the world,
Wow.
And surely Wales today would be all over this. Well, I was like, that's really interesting. So I flew out there to talk to people and try and unearth it, and nobody'd looked into it before. Because, women's history, nobody's interested. And it was fascinating. And I got to interview a lot of lovely, beautiful people and a lot of great old ladies who speak Welsh, just Welsh and Spanish, just about whether they could remember their grandmothers voting. because I was thinking if I get in there now, there's a slim chance that I could actually get some original first person testimonies, because it's not quite too late yet. You've got pictures and stuff, and it was just, I loved it. It's one of the best adventures I've ever had.
Oh, thank you. I hope that helps you, Hugh.
Huge.
What was the outcome? Because I didn't hear. I don't know what the program was. I didn't hear or see it. What was the outcome? Had they voted?
Well, we still don't quite know. Like, some people say yes. All the experts were saying no, but then the documentary was about how in Chapel they did vote, apparently. So women, when they moved out there, everyone in Chapel would have a vote, about who was going to lead this, who was going to become a new preacher. Everyone would have a vote. So that's a very Welsh tradition, that everyone has a vote. Everyone is equal in the eyes of God, apparently. So there's still there were two massive floods out there. So a lot of evidence was destroyed. So we don't quite know, but there's a lot of evidence that show that women did have a say in how things were run, and they started this entire community from scratch. Within 10 years, it went from nothing but desert land to being this place that had its own economy, its own laws. It's all through the medium of Welsh. Fascinating, and because they started from scratch, and they hated England, they hated the English way. So they start from fresh. Nobody is better than anyone else, and it's very interesting. So who knows? But I can say I'll send you the link to it. It's really interesting.
Yes, please. I'd love to see it, and I'd love to go to Patagonia as well. If they were like, we're all equal, no one's better than me. Lovely.
Yeah, I just imagine a Welsh woman going. I can imagine a Welsh woman saying, in England they don't vote, and we don't want to be like English people, do we? So you better give us the vote.
That's exactly right. And also because they had nothing, women had such an important role there. It's such an important role, and you couldn't deny it. Like, if you're building huts from scratch and the women are doing it as well, you can't deny that these women weren't pulling.
I'm gonna vote. If I'm building, if I'm putting cement to brick, you damn straight I'm bloody voting.
Exactly. So it's really interesting. And because as well, the women only had and men as well, but women over 30 only had the vote after the Second World War in the UK. So it was kind of a thing because they'd pulled their weight. You know what I mean? Sorry, First World War. But it was because they'd pulled their weight and you couldn't be. So a similar thing, happened over there. Yeah. So who knows? But I'll send you a link.
Yes, brilliant. Thank you. That sounds brilliant. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you so much. You're just such a brilliant guest. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Our pleasure.
Two things we always ask our guests, two things. First of all, is there anything in particular that you would like to plug? Now, I have put up that everybody should follow you on Twitter, because you are very funny. So it's at Sian Harries _. And also, it'd be criminal for people not to listen to The Froth, available everywhere. But is there anything else that you would like to plug?
It's just The Froth at the moment, I think, because I don't know, I'm using this time to kind of regroup, and I'm creating a lot of stuff that isn't ready to go out to the world yet. So I'm just writing a lot and kind of creating different characters and things. So no, I'm focusing on, I know. And I'm focusing on the podcast. That's the only thing that's out there at the moment. So yes, listen to The Froth.
The second question we ask our guests, is there any victims or friends, people you don't like, that you could suggest for us to get in touch with? And would you get in touch with them and say that we're not crazy?
But lie until we drink.
What do you mean? Is there any that we would what?
Is there anybody that you would recommend we put on? You take
to come on the show.
To come on the show. Have you had Essex? Have you had Essex CEOs?
No, I have asked, but she's a very busy lady on a Thursday night. I need to nudge her again.
Thursday. Let's think. Caris O'Leary. Have you asked Caris O'Leary? She's very funny.
Caris O'Leary? No, I haven't.
She's very funny. She's great. She's she did a one-woman show called Lovecraft, which is about the brain and how love works in a brain chemistry way, and it's very funny. She's brilliant. Yes, I would.
Thank you very much. We've got Clint Edwards on next week.
I love Clint. Very good friends with Clint.
So if anyone wants to join us next week, we've got Clint. But thank you so much, and we'll get on to we'll get on to Hilton Callis. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. It's been such a treat.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and we'll see you again. Thank you very much. Ta-da!
Bye-bye, love.
Cheers, lovely. It's our moment.
Get out where you are.
Get out of here.
I'm going to get out of our kitchen now. You can stay if you want, mind. We're going to be.
I'm cooking supper tonight.
Oh, never mind. Next time.
It's the red button.
Oh, cheers, lovely. Take care. Oh,
sorry
my God,
to actually. Oh, now we are. Now she's left.
Hammered I am. Bloody hell, I've been drinking a bottle of this B&M rosé. 4%. My 4% rosé. I'm off my head. It's great.
I'm on second lager, love. I'm keeping my shit together. We had guests.
I was like, this is too tasty. I blame the Prosecco. The Prosecco, B&M Prosecco, $1.89. You cannot go wrong.
He's the Jilly Gordon of B&M.
If anyone works for B&M, we are very happy to be sponsored.
There's here. $2.99, and it also brings my hubcaps up lovely.
Do you know what? I need a wee again as well. I had a wee 2 hours ago. I need another one.
I've got
now then.
Right, I've got a I've got a 2-minute 10 video clip. Okay. So I'll talk about Mandy. I'll just tell people what it is, and you. Right. So, hello everybody. Sarah, fuck off. Right. I mean, fuck off. Wrong hand. Just go. Right. So we are reviewing banners. Let's bring up banners. We are going to be reviewing Mandy. So you may know Diane Morgan from Afterlife seasons 1 and 2. She was also in Crunk. I think it's Crunk. I might be saying it wrong, but she is up and coming. She is a fantastic character actress. And she's got such a huge presence. She is, I would say, a very female version of Borat. The way that she will do especially with the Crunk interviews, the way that she will interview people and then do it in a way that they don't realize. So when there was a spate of, is it Lucy Worsley, sort of very young, attractive, educated women doing History Channel programs, she then did the same, but sort of like, isn't history great, etc., etc. So I'm going to show you a little snippet of Mandy. And in fact, it's my favorite bit from the entire 6 episodes. So by the time it finishes playing, obviously, she'll have washed her hands twice for 20 seconds. See you in 2 minutes, people. I'm going to have a fag.
Actually, have you got something all grown up and executive? You know, something that says conference call.
No, Minty Pig?
Got a new job.
Oh, that is wonderful news, Mandy. What is it?
I'm at the banana factory. I'm an arachnid control operative.
What is that?
Spiders, Long. They're coming on the bananas. It's my job to smash them. It's a very important role.
Why don't they smash them at their end?
I don't know, but I'm quids in here.
I am so happy for you, Mandy. Can I ask you something? How exactly do you kill the arachnids?
1 to stun, 2 to kill, 3 to make sure.
Daylight come and me
1 to stun, 2 to kill, 3 to make sure.
Work all night and a drink a rum. Daylight come and me want to home. Stop
banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Live 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me want go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me want go home. Day is a day, oh. Daylight come and me want go home. Day is a day, is a day, is a day. Daylight come and me want go home. A beautiful bunch, a ripe banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Hide the deadly black tarantula. Daylight come and me want go home. Live 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
That
Hey,
was my
we're
favourite
back.
bit of all of it. Hey. Oh, I put the flag down. Put the flag down. Camera's back on.
Put your flag. I'm having a flag. Right, lady.
So where Mandy is.
It was my suggestion, so we can all review.
So I go first.
You go first.
I love the fact that the whole way through, Mandy smoked. So I'm only smoking to be in character.
Yeah.
And scene.
Come on, what did you think?
I am a huge fan. I'm a massive fan of Diane Morgan. A massive fan of Diane Morgan. I just love her. And mostly women that get character comedy aren't usually very attractive. That's why they end up doing the character stuff. That's a terrible sweeping statement, but I even heard, and that's not my words, that was from an interview with Victoria Wood. And she will put herself into situations where she doesn't come across as glamorous. She is not scared of putting herself into place. So like the mouth twitch. When she gets her hair caught in the
oh
kebab,
my god.
and she's hanging and the fag drops, and the first thing as she walks in and she goes, it was like this when I came
in. Yeah. Oh, hello.
I like anything with Harry Belafonte. I like anything with Harry Belafonte on. Because I love a bit of calypso. And I used to be able to, but not since my jaw infection.
Which episode was that? I'm not good at remembering lines and stuff. Sorry, tell me when you're done, because I'll step in. But yeah.
Right, 1 second. It's just telling us that that we're having trouble with the Joke Pit Facebook. Yeah, so hang on, technology. Right, so basically, I very much liked it. Sometimes I found it unsettling, the grottiness, because I found it very similar to League of Gentlemen.
Oh, really?
I found it very similar to League of Gentlemen, to the point where I watched the credits to see if there was any of those guys involved on it.
Oh my word! I don't see that at all.
There was such a strong Royston Vasey feeling for me. Like, come on, with the bag of offal. That was. When the blood was dripping onto the yellow pages, and then she thought she'd eaten the dog. Come on, that was so Royston
That's my favourite line this year. Come on, Sarah, with the bag of offal. Yeah, I think
I'm eating your dog. I'm eating your dog.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's just so funny.
I thought the ending was going to be that she's there at the Widowers Association meeting, and that she was freaking out, and that the dog was just going to be looking through the window. I thought there would be closure on the dog story, but the dog never.
No, it did, but it was after the credits.
Because I was watching it on iPlayer.
Yes.
No, because it comes up with that play next.
Oh, balls.
So if it goes just next episode and you get the credits, it automatically it plays the next episode. So it cut off the show.
Yes, there was a little bit more, but it was literally just lets the dog in and that's it. Because I was like,
Auntie B, ringing Auntie B. Hang on,
that dog better be back. That dog better be fine. You know.
I'm going to have to go back and
kill Maxine Peake if you have to, but leave that dog alone. You know.
When it was the Maxine Peake episode, all the country and western music that they played, because I'm also I don't just love calypso, I also love me country and western. Yes. Brooks and Dunn, Boot Scoot and Boogie, get in.
You've just said words to me. I don't know what that is. I friggin' adored this. I saw the picture coming up on BBC iPlayer since July. It's been out since July, and I'm like, you know, when you're just like, oh, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to look at it. And then I was just like, fuck it. Sorry for the effing, but F it. I'm going to watch it, right? I watched the whole day one. I watched the whole series. Right, which is only an hour and a half. Day 2, watched again. Day 3, my sister came to visit. I'm like, there's this really funny program. Should we put it on? She went, yeah, go on then. Well, let's put a couple of episodes on because we started watching it at 10 p.m. We're like, nearly time for bed. Let's just chuck it on. Watch the whole thing. There's something about her accent, the way she looks with the mouth and everything, and that she's adorable. I think the character is so adorable because she's not like, she's not competitive, like, I want to win. Yeah. But she is like, she just wants a little bit better than what she just wants to win the country line dancing competition. She just wants a job that she adored, and of all the jobs she could do, smashing tarantulas in a banana plant.
1 to stun, 2 to kill, 3 to make sure.
3 to make sure. And she was crying because she's so good at it. And that last episode, she's
17 people.
And later on, like a couple of episodes later, and she's like, "Oh, I knew they'd bring that up." Do you know what? I just absolutely freaking, I can't get enough of Diane Morgan. They need to put her in everything. She needs to read the news to make me watch it again. We just need we need a Diane Morgan day. She's friggin' hilarious, and she's just so funny. I know hilarious and funny mean the same thing, but that's how funny she is. She's brilliant, and I love her.
Sarah and I like to talk down sometimes about ourselves, about how many people are viewing, that we've got 1 listener in Nigeria. But actually, can I just say, over the last couple of weeks, our viewing figures have grown exponentially. So everybody that's watching, could you...
I'm joking. Don't tell me off.
Can everybody tweet Diane Morgan and say you want to get yourself on the kitchen sink at the sink girls? Please tag us in, because typical woman. When Diane Morgan first tweeted about Mandy, because I watched the first episode of Mandy a couple of weeks ago for the Lucy show.
Right.
About a month and a half ago, I think it was. And when she tweeted about it, so bloody female, she went, "Oh, so this is something I've done. They're only 15 minutes long, so it's not long, not much to put yourself through." I was like, "Oh, come on. If that was a man, they would have gone, I've done something amazing. You want to see this?" And she's gone, I've done this thing.
I've done the thing.
It's only little. You can give it a go.
You got much time. Love it. If you love Philomena Kunk and if you love laughing, you've got to watch it. It's friggin' hilarious. I
like Philomena Kunk, but I hate laughing, Sarah, so it's not for me.
Shut up, you knob.
I'm not gonna give away the ending because it'll spoil it. But
move aside, marketing world. Sarah Bridgman is in town to sell your products. Do you like laughing? Do you like fun? Oh man, I'm gonna drink a pint of water when this is over, and pray I don't get a hangover.
You're gonna stay online, talk to me, and you're gonna drink some more. That's what's happening.
I loved Mandy. I can't tell you how much I love it. And
she doesn't mean the program. She just loves MDMA. Everyone.
Oh my god. This is what I'm like on 4% B&M, like $3.99.
Is it from B&M, Sarah? I had no idea.
Well, Tesco is a mile away. B&M is like a 5-minute walk. So.
Oh.
Oh, right. So, are we finished with Mandy then? Because I'm just going to rave about it.
Right.
And yes, with Sean laughing it.
Oh, shut up. Right. What I loved about Mandy is you had your obvious afterlife connection. So the guy in the job centre plays in Afterlife, the guy that runs the paper, Ricky Gervais's brother-in-law.
Yes. I've got another connection here.
And then Sergey is also the photographer for the local newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she was obviously at work.
Crying, Sergey. Oh, crying, laughing. That's so good.
Oh, and when Sean Ryder turned up, that was
the burn on her back, though.
But for me, it was when she was in Lola's nail salon, and Lola said, "So, who are you watching? What are you reading?" And she went, Guinness Book of Records. And she went, these are Olympians, these are heroes, they're not people from Human. And she went, I'm never going to amount to nothing. And Lola went, not everyone is meant to amount to anything. In fact, you not amounting to anything makes other people feel better about themselves. And she went, that's such a nice thing to say, Lola. Thank you.
Yeah. Get that on a bloody t-shirt. Get that on a tea towel. I loved it that same bit when she goes out, we're not Olympians. Look at this, longest nail. Someone else is like, he's eating glass. Oh, hello. I loved it. I loved it so much. I'm really glad you liked it, but I got a feeling that you would like it. But I've got to watch it again now. I could watch it on repeat. I want her to do it like another one tomorrow.
The stars. Is it Dan Manning? Who's the old guy that does the one with the dog? I mean, that's a hell of a name to get in there. Let's have it. We've just got an update. Just there we go.
I wish I was sponsored. I'm gonna have to get my own back now. You wait till next week. On my own.
My Carlsberg from the spa.
Did you pay for that now, or is it just like dragging it out?
I work there.
Oh, these are past their by date, yeah. These are out by a day. You don't need it. Yeah, I love half these. Don't worry. I'll take these out.
Just reduce them. They're open.
Crack. Oh no, this one's open.
Another one's broken. Obviously, if my bosses are watching, I have paid for everything. I do it in front of the camera and hold the receipt. I keep it in my back pocket in case I'm accused of stealing at any one time.
Just in case Lucy loses her job, if you'd like to donate to the kitchen sink,
please
buy some coffee.
All joking aside, if you go to jokepit.com and type in the word kitchen, the word kitchen sink will automatically appear. It takes you to a donate button where you can buy us a cup of tea. And I've set the minimum donation at 50p. It is strapped for cash. Everyone's strapped for cash at the moment. So if you can just go online, put a donation. If you can just give us £1, it all goes towards our tech fees. And if we've got any coppers left over, Sarah goes to B&M and gets tanked.
for £4. Bargain.
Bargain.
At least I'm not bargain booze yet.
No, no.
I'm classy.
We'll know when you're getting tanked on 6 cans of Red Stripe.
I can't get tanked on it. Well, I can get tanked. Do you know, I don't drink at all, but tonight I was just like, do you know, I've had a hell of a day. I'm having a glass, but I did not expect to drink nearly a
Our biggest guest to date.
Oh God! Do you know about Clint
55
Edwards?
minutes into the interview. 55 minutes into the interview, and I go, so how do you get started?
Can I just, apropos of nothing, can I ask you about writing for Man Down? Oh man, that's gonna haunt me. I'm gonna fall as I'm falling asleep tonight. It's gonna be like, Man Down. I thought it was really well till then.
I think we get 5 points for never really mentioning the husband.
Yes.
He was alluded to and commented, but we never wanged on about him. She is a person.
I've not even in the promotion. I haven't even said she's a woman in her own right because she is. I've unsaid that.
Because that was on the froth. Well, actually, on the BBC Radio Wales programme, that is how he introduces her.
Okay.
This is Sian, person in her own right, and it got like how Richard Herring, Rahalestapa is an acronym, so it was person in her own right. They'd start doing the letters for it, but she's such a lovely person. And the great thing is, I come up with all these questions now. She's not online, so for me, what I would have said,
she's somebody you want to be friends with. She's just so lovely. Like, yeah, I want to go out drinking with you.
And this sounds really sycophantic. This is why I sort of didn't want to ask it, but very much like Victoria Wood, even though she's the writer of that show, she didn't give herself the strongest female character. Now, I think she would have done really well as the character, the Mike Bubbins' missus. You know, the one with the short black hair?
Yeah.
But because she only came in and out of being the therapist at the big, their version of sort of the Newport Hotel, and Sally Phillips's face going bright red. I don't know if I'm going to you. Quite frankly, I was like, I'm not updating that. Prosecco and rose wine. Tomorrow your stalls will be bubbly and claret, but with citrusy undertones.
They will be available because I'm very healthy.
Sarah will do it on a YouTube channel. There'll be a special on it.
Yes. I started a new YouTube channel, guys. People. So I'm trying to get guys out of the conversation.
What really got me with Sian's writing is she's in it, but she could have always been divisive enough to give herself bigger lines, a bigger character. And I wonder whether or not she just wanted to give herself a part in it, but not. She'd rather be behind the cameras pointing at people than standing there and getting all the lines. Because the woman that plays, can't remember that, I've got written down, but the woman who plays Mike Bubbins' wife in it, the two of them that run the PR section.
Wow. Wales.
Wow. Her character is for me one of the biggest characters in there. And I think that she could have played the character that's in the call center as well. Because she would be able to do the all right, wow, Wales. What you need. She would have also been able to be a foil for the Aberystwyth tourist board characters, where she stands there between Tydia and the other young man. But I just personally think that she gave herself a really, really great part, but she wrote really strong female characters in Wow Wales. And I think that the fact that she didn't give one of those to herself shows the generosity of her writing.
Yeah, and also, like, it's a hard enough job to write a sitcom as well as act in it, you know, and also, like, she gave, like, the CEO of Wow Wales being Sally Phillips. Like, that's a massive role as well. And she's just so good. Yeah. She's amazing. She's really good.
So everyone tweet Sally Phillips and say you want to be on the sink.
Hi, Sally. You don't know me, but do you like drinking? Would you like to drink in public with a couple of mad Welsh women, please? Right, do you know what, my love? It's 9:10 nearly. We've got, has anyone got any questions before we go? Has anyone got any questions for us?
We haven't picked the comedy for next week, sir.
Oh, yes, your turn. That's why.
So we did talk about one privately,
yes.
and I'm thinking of putting it forward for us.
Do it,
because neither of us have seen it.
Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what you're talking about anyway.
And it is.
So tell me what, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Is it old?
All right, yeah. Great combo. It's hey, now it's old, but it's within it is within, you know, the last 20 years, so it's not for me.
That's far too modern.
I would
1989. No, thank you.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to suggest, now it might be that we have to try and find YouTube clips of it. We don't know how easy it is. I don't think it's on Netflix, so it might take a bit of research. But we are going to try and review Living Single.
Oh yeah.
There you go. It's coming back to her.
It's coming back through a haze of rosé. Living Single. While you're on, let's look for it then. Because if we can't find it anyway.
1993. It's American, and it was on for 5 series. So Living Single. So it was a sitcom in America.
Yes. Oh, I pressed Living, became Loofing. Loofing Single? Will that do?
I'll do Living Single and you can do Loofing Single.
Right, it's got full episodes on the YouTubes. So,
hey, there we go.
43 minutes though. I'll watch one. If I like it,
yeah,
I will
watch one to judge something. I mean, we just about managed one of Girls on Top. Well, I know I did 3.
Well, were 2 of them a sitcom?
Right. Next week's review. I'm just typing it up for the screen.
Okay.
Living
Single. Now, this is interesting because Lucy was telling me about this. This was on. It started at the same time as Friends, didn't it?
Just before
Friends, and it's basically Friends if all the friends were people of color. Yeah. So interesting to me that it was just before, and then Friends took off like a freight train. So interesting to see if this is good and if it's funny and all the rest of it. So yeah, I think this is a really good show. I'm looking forward to this one.
You know, because you can't copyright a sitcom of people living in a house. Because in that case, you'd say that the young ones and Girls on Top were there before. You know, you can't. I mean, the Golden Girls are just people living in a house. You can't copyright a situation like that. But it'd be interesting to see just how much or how many similarities there were between Living Single and Friends. So this is going to be quite an interesting. Did they get ripped off, or was it an homage, or were they 2 completely different standalone comedies?
Well, I read a writing article about Friends, and they were saying that it's basically a family. So Ross and Monica were the mum and dad, and then you had the 3 siblings. The mum and dad and the siblings. Chandler, Joey, and Phoebe with the kids. And when you look at it like that, you're like, oh yeah, and Rachel. You're like, oh god, yeah.
But we're a bit more incest then, because Rachel slept with Ross, Monica slept with Chandler, and Rachel slept with Joey.
Slang. No. Why not? Why you? Slag. But in reality, if Friends were real, everyone would have slept with everyone. Come on, guys. This is when Harry met Sally. You can't truly be friends. Right. Here we are. Here's the thought. Right. Are we carrying on? Are we? Because it's 9:15. Can you be friends with someone of the opposite sex, or does the sex part get in the way? Which is the premise of When Harry Met Sally. What do you think, Lucy?
I've had friends that have ruined it by telling me they got feelings for me when I've made it very clear I don't have feelings for them.
So boring. And vice versa?
No, never.
You've never been friends with a bloke and thought, oh, I'd have a bit of that hot stuff. Come on.
I'm too sexist.
You're too sexist to get a wide on for a lovely guy. Sorry. It's after 9 p.m.
It's after 9 p.m. No, I never have really. But I'm very naive like that. I never see. I don't see that. I could have been in the friend zone many a times and not bloody noticed it because I'm just so much of a dipshit when it comes to that. I'm like, oh, did you say you don't fancy what me? Huh?
Me? A woman? What? I have boobs, but come on.
I don't know. I think they can. I think it's possible. I do think it's possible. And I think that to say it isn't is just an excuse used by jealous boyfriends to undermine why any woman would have a friendship with a man. And then you like you because they want you. No, it's quite possible to be platonic. I think controlling boyfriends that are very jealous always go, there's no such thing as, just a friendship. Somebody always wants something out of it. And I think that's completely opposite. Because I've mostly had friendships with men. It's only as I've become old that I've developed more relationships with women. I've always been a bit tomboyish. And when you're the only female truck driver in a depot, it is ridiculous to think that you can't have any male friends. Otherwise, there's a lonely fucking existence.
Yeah.
And they can't all, only be liking me because they think they're going to get their end away. Considering they're 60 with one eye and two teeth.
So can all the men watching just let us know?
Just let us know. Get us a secret hand signal or something. Just send us a text. Right, we're going to wrap this up. Just to reiterate, next week's review is going to be the American 1993 sitcom Living Single.
Yup.
And genuinely, it would be amazing, guys, if you can watch even just one episode on YouTube before next week, so you can chip in with your opinions. Did Friends rip it off, or was it just a coincidence that they were happening at the same time? So yeah.
And thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us.
Yeah.
Even though I'm clearly slightly tipsy.
And
hope you are too.
We need to thank our guest Sian, but our biggest thanks goes to the Booze Island B&M.
Expensive. There's more.
You guys don't get
in the Booze Island.
But when I was playing the video clip for Mandy, we're both dancing away. There's me tapping on a fag, and there's her knocking it back. It was like, right, two girls at a wine club dancing a Saturday.
Yes. What's the song go
like? It was 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot.
That's what's going to get us cancelled. We're going to be cancelled for this now for some reason. 8 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot. Do you like it? Yes, we're getting cancelled.
Thank you everybody for watching this tonight. It's been such a joy and a pleasure to be a part of. And again, don't forget, tell your friends, because this is it now, 7 till 9. That's our scheduling. We have got the next 5 weeks of guests lined up, and each and every one of them is going to sparkle and inspire. And now that we got the third man, B&M, every episode it's gonna be a fucking corker.
Just email me, B&M. I will it will cost you like 50 quid a year. I didn't even drink in real life.
In real life, because this is an illusion. Right, you know it's gonna happen. Or in fact, I should say, you knows it.
When Lucy comes to this, we're gonna have to sell tickets. We're gonna have to sell
It's gonna be
tickets.
fucking bunting. It'll be a national day.
We're gonna have karaoke. Paul Dennis lives around the corner, and I know Lucy chats
I
to
want
Paul.
Bev, I want Shani, I want
Yes.
the chopping rooms to turn up.
I want Hugh Janus to come down from Durham. Hugh, is your profile picture real, Hugh? Because it's very nice.
Right,
And
I'm ending the broadcast. I'm ending the broadcast.
For your own good.
Right.
Have a good week.
Say goodbye,
See you next week. You got Clint Edwards. Bye. Love you.